Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. We are here to just have a little bit of fun, talk a little bit about business, and try to help make everyone a little bit more money. As always, we're sponsored by New Clean Commercial Cleaning, my company. So if you need any janitorial services from Twin Falls all the way over to Rexburg, give us a holler at 208-254-7070. And for you podcast listeners, if you call that number, 208-254-7070, and say you heard about us on the podcast, since it is, flu season coming around the corner here, we will come to your office and give you a free sterilization spray to reset your building, absolutely free, no strings attached, just because you're a podcast listener. There you go. So today, guys and gals, I was thinking, that's a new word, I guess. That's the word of the day, thinking. I was just thinking, what are we doing when we're stressed a little bit about, the unknown? Maybe some changes has happened in our organization, or maybe some big opportunity has presented itself to us in our organization, and it's exciting, and we've got a lot of cool things happening. But then we're thinking, okay, how am I going to accomplish this? How am I going to do this? Or vice versa. Maybe we have some negative things happen, or both at the same time. How many of us automatically go to worst case scenarios thinking, and I don't recommend it, but some of us do that. I do that sometimes. I'm my own worst enemy. And so those of you who aren't that way and are just positive people most of the time and can be your own cheerleader and progress and make sure that you're not thinking those thoughts and are continually finding ways to stand on the mountain and sit instead of the goalie, I commend you. But for those people that are thinking, crap, worst case scenario, what if this happens and this happens and this happens? Oh, how am I going to accomplish this and this and this? Oh, I've got this opportunity in front of me, but I've got this and this happening too at the same time in my organization. And you start thinking, holy crap, this, and you stop sleeping, you start worrying, and it just seems like you stop enjoying life a little bit, because only thing you're thinking about is this opportunity or this big thing that's in front of you. But I'm here to tell you, things are never as bad as what you think. We talk a lot about gratitude and a lot about the things that we have to be grateful for. And that's number one. That's the biggest thing you need to do at this junction of what you're feeling, what you're going through. I've been there many, many times. But when you're going through this type of scenario, the biggest help is to find someone you trust. Find someone you can bounce ideas off of, if it's a spouse or a business partner, whoever it is, and say, hey, listen, I'm going through a worst case scenario situation right now where I'm just spiraling. I need to talk to someone. I need to talk to someone right now and actually talk through these worst case scenarios, because that is the biggest solution. Because once you start, and if you don't have someone and you need to get it out right away, go in front of a mirror, I'm telling you, and talk to yourself and let you hear yourself talk about these worst case scenarios. Because as soon as you start talking and getting these worst case scenarios out in the open, you'll start to realize how ridiculous you sound. And I'm telling you, and this is coming from experience, our minds we are tricky. It's a tricky organ, and we will literally outthink and manipulate ourselves into thinking that things are a lot worse or even a lot better or whatever it is. And if we just take a step back and voice out the thoughts that are coming into our head, then it's almost like our mind can comprehend how silly it is at that point. And you almost start to think, holy cow, are those actually the thoughts that are in my head? This is the worst case scenarios. Like, this isn't a thing. Like, there's no way that would happen. Like, no, I've got a system set up for that. That can't happen there. No, like, Debbie would never let something like that happen. Like that's silly. And I'm telling you now, that's huge if you can do that. So if you're feeling that way now, or if you ever felt that way in the past, use this as ammunition to be able to handle this in the future. Because I've been through this, just recently, and I've been able to go through some of this and be able to talk through it. And a lot of my thoughts were silly. A lot of my thoughts were just like, holy cow, this is ridiculous. And once you talk yourself through it, you realize, holy cow, this is ridiculous. And then you also have good ideas that come to your mind. Okay, this is silly, but if this is something that I am stressing about a little bit, then I've got this idea and this idea and this idea to counteract that idea or that worry. You'll be surprised of how many good ideas come when you're vocally talking about those worst case scenarios. But I'm telling you, if you're constantly thinking about the things that you're grateful for every day, this worst case scenario but the worst case scenario thinking is going to be coming up less and less, because your mind will start to remember and to automatically train itself to think of gratitude and those grateful attributes, instead of thinking gloom and doom all the time of what I can't do or what's not happening or what can't happen. So that's important. And I think it's happened to me in the past, and I think some of us, when we're running a business, we get too focused on we got to get down and we got to focus, and we listen to many of these social media personalities, and the ones that are telling you got to get up at 5:30 in the morning, you got to work out, and you got to be in the office by 7:30, and you got to do this and this and this, and you got to take a 3-minute lunch break, and you got to do this and this and this, and you got to spend half an hour with your kids, and then go right back to work after you put them to bed. And when you start thinking, you start listening to those type of people, yeah, do they make a lot of money? I'm sure some of them do. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money that have those type of lives. But you got to remember, we've talked about this in other episodes. What kind of life do you want? Can you make a lot of money and still have a balanced life? Yes, you can. Do you want a life that you can have a balance with your kids and your job and all that kind of stuff? Some are you're going to say yes, some are you're going to say no. But remember, whose story are you trying to live? Are you trying just to churn and burn and to be busy your whole life, and to lock yourself down and to be feeling that stress and that gloom and doom sometimes? Because when you get so busy, you almost sometimes feel like you can't be happy when you're so busy, because you can't be happy when you are trying to be successful, when you're so locked down that hard. And that's the exact opposite of what is true. Because if you can't be happy as you try to achieve success, you're going about it all wrong. the happiest times of my life have been some of the most successful times of my life. And the times when I have not been happy has also been the times that I have not been successful. And I've realized that if those two things aren't in balance, then I'm not seeing the success I want to see. And I have to quickly remember and flip the script a little bit and realize I'm quickly turning into that person I don't want to be. And I've got to find that happiness level again and bring that back into my professional life and remember I got to enjoy what I'm doing again. And not just like, oh, I got to get back to the grind. This. I got to be in my office. Sometimes my office feels like a prison because I'm in here and I'm just grinding. I'm like, now I'll have to take a break and look up and think, why am I in my office? There's no reason I should be in my office today. I should just have my laptop and I should just be at home, or it's a sunny day outside. I should just go out on the beach somewhere and get a few things done on my laptop there and then call it a day. And those are the things that we need to remember. So don't work to work. Remember not to go through the worst case scenarios in your head. And if when you do, vocally talk through them or talk through them with your trusted friend or a partner or a spouse. So hope those things can help you today. Go out there and kill it this week. Be a source of gratitude for others and be a source of positivity for others. Go hug those that you love. Tell someone that you care for how much you care for them, and pass that positivity around. There's so much negativity around in this world. Let's start passing more positivity around in this world, because that's what we need right now to counteract the hatred that's going on right now. We need to spread some more of this positivity. So go out there and dominate your workforce, dominate your contracts, whatever you're doing, but have some fun while you do it, and spread that positivity. Adios, my friends. See ya.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.